Hello students, in this short video we will discuss about refraction through a prism. So far we have seen refraction through lenses, different types of lenses. This is a refraction through a prism. In this again we can see an incident ray PQ incidenting at the refracting face AB of the prism. AB and AC are called the refracting faces of the prism. BC is the base of the prism. Angle between the incident ray and the normal at the point of incidence is called I. The angle between the refracted ray and the normal is R1. Here it is R2, and here the emergent ray and the normal makes an angle E. Now, when we extend the incident ray like that and the emergent ray from here backward, we get an angle over here. That is called the angle of deviation. That says how much the ray has deviated from its original path. It was supposed to go like that, but it is bending like this. And in a prism always we can see that the ray bends towards the base of the prism after refraction. Just imagine this prism has a refractive index n, and here it is air. So refractive index over here is 1. So according to the geometry principles, we can take this quadrilateral AQNR from the diagram. So in the quadrilateral AQNR, we can say angle A plus angle N, the opposite angles, sum is equal to 180 degree. That is our equation number 1. Then in the triangle, you can see here a triangle, a small triangle called QNR. So in triangle QNR, angle R1 plus angle R2 plus angle N is equal to 180 degree. So from 1 and 2, the relations 1 and 2, what we can infer is angle A is equal to angle R1 plus R2. The angle here it is R1, so this angle will be I minus R1, because opposite angles of two lines, crossing lines, it will be equal, but there is a cut over here by this refracting ray. So this part of the angle is R1, means its upper part will be I minus R1. Similarly, this E should be repeated here, but there is a partition by this refracting ray. So R2 is the angle over here. That means the upper angle will be E minus R2. So we will write that angles over there. That is, this angle is I minus R1, and this angle over here is, I'll write here, E minus R2. So according to the angle QMR, triangle QMR, what we get is I minus R1 plus E minus R2 is equal to delta, the exterior angle property we used. Exterior angle is equal to sum of the interior angles. So what we get here, I plus E minus of R1 plus R2 is equal to delta. So this is our fourth and this is our fifth equation. Now when you do this experiment and plot the graph, what we will get is like for small angles we get large deviation, then the deviation decreases, it becomes a minimum value at this point. Okay, at angle of incidence, like for example 50 degree, it becomes 40 degree as the angle of deviation. Then again, if you increase the angle of incidence, the angle of deviation is going to increase. So this is a unique point where I and E will be equal, because there is a single point only. Otherwise, always, this I, if you take, it has this deviation, if you take, it has two I values. If this deviation you are taking, it will have again 2i values here in the graph. But this value at 40, you can see that I is only 1 for a particular deviation delta. So this angle 40 degrees is called the delta minimum. So what will we do? At delta minimum, we say I is equal to E. Then what happens? The ray becomes parallel to the base. Therefore, R1 will become equal to R2. So what we can write? In equation 5 we can write I and E are equal. So this becomes 2I minus R1 and R2 are equal. That is 2R is equal to delta minimum. From equation 3 what you get? R1 plus R2 is equal to A. That means you get 2R is equal to A or R is equal to A by 2. Now we got two relations. One is A is equal to 2R we got, that is, or R is equal to A by 2 we got. So that is equation number 6 and 7. In equation 6, if you substitute the values, equation 6 becomes 2I minus 2R is nothing but A. So 2R in the place of 2R we'll write A equal to delta minimum. So I is equal to A plus delta minimum whole by 2 you got. So this is our equation number 8. Now we'll apply the values in Snell's law. What is Snell's law is N2 by N1 is equal to sin I by sin R. So we have values of I and R with us. I is A plus delta minimum by 2 and R is A by 2. So we'll apply that values in this equation, equation 9. So it is N2 1 or N2 by N1 is sin A plus delta minimum by 2 divided by sin A by 2. So this is how we get the refractive index formula of the second medium with respect to first, where A is the angle of the prism, delta minimum is the angle of minimum deviation. Now, as a special case, if we are taking small angled prisms, what we can do is we can use the angle approximation. That is, we can avoid these signs. So it will be N21 is equal to A plus D divided by A by 2. So from that, A plus D by 2 by A by 2. So it will be A plus D by A. So what is D? The delta minimum, or D is D minimum, I'll write here. So delta minimum we get after cross multiplication as N21 minus 1 into A. We have three rays of different colors fall normally on one face of an isosceles right-angled prism. The refractive index of the prism for these rays are 1.39, 1.47 and 1.52. Find which of these rays get internally reflected and which gets only refracted from AC. Trace the path of rays. Justify your answer with the help of necessary calculations. So as you know, these are the rays 1, 2, 3 marked in the diagram. So it's an isosceles right triangle. So the angles are 45 degree, 90 degree and 45 degree over here. Now the rays are falling normally on the face AB. So that means it will go straight from this line. It will go straight over here. Now what we have to do is we should find out at this point of incidence what is the angle of incidence for each of these ray. What is the angle of incidence at the point of incidence we should find out. So as we know, this is 45 degree. this is 90, and this will be again 45 degree. So this is perpendicular. So this is perpendicular. This is also perpendicular. In that 45 degree is gone here. So that means this angle of incidence will be again 45 degree. Similarly, here the same rule prevails. So this is of the same angle of incidence 45 degree. Here also it will be of 45 degree. So this one you might understood by now. This is like this. This is A. This is the point where the ray falls, and it goes straight like that. But here you see this is the normal. So this is 45 degree. This one is also 45 degree. So we know the prism's surface is going like this. This is 90. This also completely 90. But here there is a 45. So then that means the rest of the angle will be 45 degree. That is how we found out this 45 degrees here. So now what we have to do is we will write the total internal reflection condition. Total internal reflection condition is at AC. We are going to find out the total internal reflection condition at AC. So this is a glass prism. This is air. This is glass. Again air. So the ray is going from glass to air. That means denser to rarer medium. So that one condition is over. Then the other condition is I must be greater than IC. The angle of incidence must be greater than angle of, meaning critical angle. So sin I, we can say greater than sin IC. What is sin IC? Sin IC is 1 by n. According to total internal reflection principle, sin IC is 1 by n. So sin I over here is sin 45. For all the rays it is sin 45, should be greater than sin IC, that is 1 by n. What is sin 45? 1 by root 2. So it must be greater than 1 by n. Or we can say n must be greater than root 2. Root 2 is nothing but 1.414. So from this we can infer that any ray which is having a refractive index more than 1.414 will undergo total internal reflection. So here when you look, 1.39 is less than 1.414. So it will not undergo total internal reflection, rather it will go undergo refraction. So we can say this is first ray refracting. Second ray 1.47, which is greater than 1.414. So it will totally internally reflect like this. Third ray 1.52, again greater than 1.414. It also will totally internally reflect. So ray 2 and 3 will totally internally reflect, and ray 1 will go refracting. So that is the inference of this question. A ray PQ incident on the refracting face AB is refracted in the prism ABC as shown in the figure and emerges from the other refracting face AC as RS such that AQ is equal to AR. If the angle of prism is A equal to 60 degree and refractive index of the material of the prism is root 3, determine the value of angle of incidence and angle of deviation. So this is the ray of light. This is the angle of the prism that is given as 60 degree. Angle A is 60 degree. Now the rays refracted path is like this. How we know this is like this is because it is given AQ and QR are equal. These two sides are equal. That means the ray will be parallel to the base. So here given AQ is equal to AR. That makes BC parallel to QR. Now the ray emerges like that. So what we have to find out here is determine the values of angle of incidence and angle of deviation. So how will we write angle of incidence and angle of deviation? This is the normal at the point of incidence. This is the normal at the point of refraction. This is the extended ray. incident ray and this is the extended emergent ray. So this is angle delta. Now we have to find out what is angle of incidence and angle delta. So this material has a refractive index √3 and this is air, so refractive index is 1. Now we know that angle A given here is 60 degree. Angle A is 60 degree. Then n value given is √3. So we know I plus E is equal to A plus delta. We have a relation. So since the QR is parallel to BC, this condition is satisfied. That means the ray is undergoing minimum deviation. Okay, so at minimum deviation condition, I is equal to E, R1 is equal to R2, and we know that R1 plus R2 is A. So since R1 and R2 are equal, 2R is equal to A we can write, and R is equal to A by 2. So R is A by 2, but A is given as 60 degrees. So R is equal to 60 by 2, which is 30 degree we get. Now, according to Snell's law, N1 sin I is equal to N2 sin R. According to Snell's law, we get N equal to sin I by sin R. So it is √3 is equal to sin I, that is sin E itself, that we don't know. So sin I divided by sin R. Sin R is sin 30. So sin I is equal to √3 into 1 by 2, which is I is equal to sin inverse √3 by 2, which is 60 degree. So we got I value. I is equal to 60 degree. One of our question is answered. Now we know I plus E is A plus delta. That is the rule. So I and E are equal here. So we have I plus E. I plus E is equal to I plus I, that is 2I, that is equal to 2 into 60, meaning 120 degree we get, which is equal to A plus delta. So 120 degree is equal to A is 60 plus delta. So delta is equal to 120 minus 60, which is equal to 60 degree we got. So both our questions are answered. One is angle of incidence and the other is angle of deviation. So the main thing to remember is this one. Since this condition is given, AQ is equal to AR, BC becomes parallel to QR, and that is a condition of minimum deviation for a ray of light in a prism. This question says, trace the path of a ray of light passing through a glass prism APC as shown in figure. If the refractive index of glass is √3, find the value of the angle of emergence from the prism. So here in this prism, the angles are 30 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. The ray, you can see it is falling through normal. Okay, it is falling through normal. So the angle of incidence is equal to 0. At this phase, angle of incidence is equal to 0. Therefore, angle of refraction is also is equal to 0 at that point. Now the ray is just directly going and hitting the other face called AB. Now at this point we will draw the normal. Normal is like this. Okay, so here the angle is this angle itself, that is 60 degree, and here it is 90. So 90 plus 60 is over, then rest will be 30 degree over here. Now the ray has to emerge. The ray is emerging, let us say like this, through an angle E. So according to Snell's law, we will write the Snell's law here. That is, this is Ng and this is N air. So what will we write? According to Snell's law, Ng into sine 30 should be equal to Na into sine E. Ng is √3 given in the question. Sine 30 is nothing but 1 by 2, which is equal to n air is 1 into sine E. So sine E is equal to, we get root 3 by 2. That means E is equal to sine inverse root 3 by 2, which is 60 degree. So the angle of emergence in this prism is 60 degree. This question has two parts. First part says for a glass prism of n equal to root 3, it is root 3 here. The angle of minimum deviation is equal to the angle of the prism. Find the angle of the prism then. So it is undergoing a minimum deviation conditions. So that means n equal to, we can say it is sine A plus delta minimum by 2 by sine A by 2. Now the minimum deviation is equal to the angle of the prism. The condition given is like that. So delta m is equal to A. So how will we write this relation? Root 3 is equal to sine A plus A, because A and delta m are equal, whole divided by 2 by sine A by 2. So we get sine 2A by 2 by sine A by 2. So this can be written as 2 sine A by 2 cos A by 2 divided by sine A by 2. So sine A by 2 get cancelled and we get it as 2 cos A by 2 is equal to root 3. So if you take this 2 to the left side, we get root 3 by 2 is equal to cos A by 2, or we can say A by 2 is cos inverse root 3 by 2. Cos inverse root 3 by 2 is 30 degree. So A is 2 into 30, which is 60 degree we get. The ray of light is falling directly on one face of the prism. So we'll draw the ray of light directly falling on. It is undeviated and goes like that. On this face we have to draw the normal. This is the normal, and we will find out what will happen to the ray of light. This is 45 degree, this is 45, and this is 90 degree. Now here we will find out what is the angle. So here, this is a normal and this is a parallel. So that means it will be 45 degree over here. So angle of incidence is equal to 45 degree on the second face of the prism. So according to the rule, we know n equal to 1 by sine IC. N is root 3 here. So root 3 is equal to 1 by sine IC, or IC is equal to, sine IC is equal to 1 by root 3 sine IC. I is 45 degree over here. So sine 45 degree is 1 by root 2. So what we can infer from here is sine IC is 1 by root 3. What we can conclude from here is sine IC is 1 by root 3, that we got from n equal to 1 by sine C equation, and sine 45, that is angle of incidence relation, it is sine I is equal to 1 by root 2. So total internal reflection says I should be greater than IC, that is angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. So here obviously this sine I 1 by root 2, which is, it is greater than 1 by root 3. So that means this ray will undergo total internal reflection like this. A triangular prism of refracting angle 60 degree is made of a transparent material of refractive index 2 by root 3. A ray of light is incident normally on the face KL as shown in figure. Trace the path of the ray as it passes through the prism and calculate the angle of emergence and angle of deviation. So this is the prism KLM, we marked it as the prism, and PQ is an incident ray. through the normal. That means its angle of incidence over there is equal to 0 because it is passing through the normal. Now we have to extend this ray of light such that it will be just falling directly on the other face. So like this, it will go just directly to the other face without deviation. Then at this point we will draw the normal. This is the normal, and we'll find out what is the angle. So this is 90 degree because this is perpendicular 90 degree. This one is therefore 30 degree, 60 over here, 90 over here. So in this triangle the rest is 30 degree, and you know that this completely is 90, and this also is 90 because this is a perpendicular, this is a normal. So in that 30 degree is gone here, so that means this will be 60 degree. So the angle of incidence of this ray on this face Km is 60 degree. So what we write, this material has 2 by root 3 as the refractive index, and over here it is N air which is having refractive index 1. So again at Km we will write the Snell's law. Snell's law says sine of angle of incidence, that is sine 60 into the corresponding refractive index 2 by root 3 is equal to sine of angle of emergence into the corresponding refractive index, that is 1. So what is sine 60? That is root 3 by 2 into 2 by root 3 is equal to sine E we got. That means this get cancelled and we get 1. So sine E is equal to 1. That means E is 90 degree. So the emergent angle is 90 degree. That means the ray should go directly through this, graze through this surface. Then only the angle of emergence can be 90 degree. So this is the path of the ray. It grazes on the surface of the prism, making an angle 90 degree.